Hey, today we got the Browning Bighorn tent we're putting up. I already laid the tarp out behind me. Paul's putting up the quick tent, which is a 5-minute tent. This is probably going to take me 30 minutes at least. But this is our base camp and we're setting up for the summer, so I bought a good strong tent that'll survive the winds or whatever it takes. So the Bighorn isn't the quick tent. Then I also have the 10x14 quick tent. This is a 10x15 Browning Bighorn. And Browning, you know, is a well-known company as far as guns and all kinds of camping gear. You know, if you buy Browning, you're buying the best. So let's see how long it takes me to set it up. Well, it's been 3 months. This is September 2nd today. Right? Yeah, September 2nd. So the tent's been up for 3 months. We had the one rainstorm that lasted 4 days. And water came in the tent. It came up through the bottom of the floor. When we stepped on it, the water would come up where our feet are. And so we called Browning to see what was going on, what they thought. They sent us a brand new tent. So we're taking this tent down today, and then we're going to go ahead and set up the new one, because they're thinking that this one didn't go through the process of getting the floor sealer put into it. And you know what? That's something to say for Browning, you know. I mean, they sent us a brand new tent. This tent's been used every day for the last 3 months. We put it up March 28th. No, May 28th. So you got June, July, August. 3 full months plus, you know, 5 days or whatever. So that's pretty good. And it lasted without any problems. The only problem we had during the rainstorm was the water coming up through the floor. And what did we get out of that? Well, we got a brand new tent because they're saying that it was faulty. And the Browning is guaranteed for life on materials and workmanship. And you know, I got a wife now. She just cares about my hair. So I put my hat on for her, but now it's normal. So we'll be taking this tent down. Thought I'd show you how it comes down, and we're going to put the new one up. Yeah, I can't believe they gave us a free tent to replace this one. And it's been a good tent. 3 months of constant use. I got nothing but good things to say about Browning. A lifetime guarantee that we used.
Well, they really care that there was a problem. They want it shipped back to them so that they can figure out why there was the dampness issue and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yep.
It's a company that cares about their reputation. I really like this tent. I like it better than our 10x14 Coleman Instant Signature tent.
Yeah, we like it better. We do. We like it better than the Instant tent for long-term camping. But I really like the Instant tent because it doesn't have the curtain in the middle. So we take the top off. You're looking at the entire sky. With this one here, the apron in the middle kind of blocks the view. So might as well only have half it open.
Well, because it's sewed in the middle has a zipper. Whereas with the Coleman, it's just a sheet that just connects on each end, and you can take it up or down. But there's no zipper on the Coleman center divider. So if we had kids, it would be nice to have that the way the Browning does it. To have 2 separate complete rooms with 2, and it has a door in each room.
Yeah.
Which I think is really
nice. It's nice having the door in each room.
Yeah. But nothing beats the ease of putting up a Coleman Instant tent.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't beat the ease of it.
Yeah.
But for the lastability and dependability and not having to deal with that T-door, this one just kicks it in the butt.
The zippers in this one are just a joy. They're so easy to zip and unzip compared to the Coleman Instant tent. And I like on this one, the center divide section has 3 large pockets on each
Yeah,
side.
on each side, so 6 pockets total.
Yeah.
Definitely a much better tent. And that's it. The tent's down. I took it down alone. No big deal. I'd do it again. All you do now is roll it up, put it in the bag. Anybody can roll it up. The bag's plenty big. Yeah, it's a lot more difficult than the Coleman Instant tent. But it's a good long-term tent. And I did it myself, as you saw. I staked the 2 back corners. I put the pins in to each one of the upright poles in the back first, and that just made putting up the front easily, and I did it myself this time. So there's the trick that I learned that you now know before you buy the tent. Good tent, easy setup.
Work.
It works. Well, we've been out here in the woods about a month today. It is June 25th. And as you can hear, we got a little summer storm. It's raining outside. So I thought I'd take the chance to go ahead and film just a little bit of the inside of the tent, how we have it set up, which is pretty basic. And we'll let you know how it does in this little rainstorm. So far it's not bad at all. I mean, it hasn't rained a whole lot, but that's our kitchen. Shining through the screen. I just got the screen undone at the door because the door has this nice cover over it that you can see up here. So it actually works pretty good. It holds the rain out from the windows, so I can keep the window open. And then we got, our stuff. We just brought a bunch of stuff inside out of the rain to make sure. So the cabin, as I'm calling it, instead of a tent, it's not exactly totally clean. But I got the old trunks over there that were my dad's back in World War II. And, the old trunks from the family, and I got our chair and the other stuff we just brought inside. And it's a nice, cozy home away from home here in our little cabin. A little tent out in the woods. That's just Karen and I.
And it smells so good with this summer rain.
It does. It smells really good. No leaks, no water, no problems so far. But it hasn't rained probably more than a half hour.
Yeah.
But still, it's just been off and on. It's not a serious rainstorm at all. Hopefully it'll get serious and we'll be able to add a little bit more to it. We're just looking right now. We're just looking straight up out the top of the tent. Because we'll leave it open at night. And the nice thing about this tent is, what we really enjoy is that even though we get morning dew, the dew stays outside, even with the screen open. It is just so cool.
So yeah, we got the view out the top of the tent, and then of course our windows are all open, you know. Yeah, and this is the tent review, and this is pretty much it. We can open the top half, you know. We can have just this one half open and have the other half closed. So like when the afternoon sun's coming in, if we're going to come in here and take a nap or something like that, we can just, you know, close one half, the half where the sun is in the afternoon or the half where the sun is in the morning or whatever. Or we can just have them both open like we do right now, which is how we have it at night, you know. Yeah, the screen roof is really nice. And we just roll the top back on the Browning Bighorn. This is, it's just, I don't know, how do you say, I mean, how do you say it? It's, as far as the instant tents go, compared to this tent, I would rather have this tent because the walls are straighter. It's a 10 by 15. So you actually have 10 by 15 on the floor space. The walls come in maybe 6 inches from bottom to top, where on the instant tent they come in over a foot. They're at a good angle. So these walls are pretty much straight up and down, so you got a lot more room. If I had to make a choice between the two tents and what I would buy this tent. It's a 3-season tent, you know, and I think it would handle some snow. It would be cold. You'd have to have a heater in here, which is fine. We got the, you know, the little buddy heaters and that kind of stuff. And then with the air vents up top, you know, with your roof, if you have the roof closed, you're still going to have enough fresh air coming in, or it's going to let the carbon dioxide go out, and you're going to have fresh air coming in and still be able to stay warm. That was one of the reasons we bought this tent. I looked for months to see what tent I would want. I knew I wanted a 12 by 14. We figured that would be perfect with enough room on both sides and have two rooms, you know, and one room for our clothes and stuff. And this is what we got. You know, we ended up with a 10 by 15 because I couldn't find a decent manufacturer who had a 12 by 15 that was a reasonable price. I mean, some of them were cheap, you know, and then they had those ones that are over in Britain. I can't remember what they're called, but they're like thousands of dollars. It's like, yeah, $3,000 for a tent. Yeah, this was 200, you know, or 250 or whatever it was on Amazon. Hope you guys like this review, because the Browning Bighorn is the way to go. Browning's a good name, well known for many years, especially in shotguns and rifles and all that. So when we saw the Browning tent, you know, or the tent with a Browning name on it, you know, I figured it would be a keeper. And of the 4 or 5 tents that we have set up down here, as far as sleeping and conditions and everything, this is the best tent, in my opinion, and it far exceeds the instant tent, either of the 10 by 9 or the 10 by 14 that we have sitting up down here right now, for the main reason that, you know, we can see out the roof.
So it really rained hard last night. All night, not just a little bit, but all night. And we got a little tiny bit of water in the corner of the tent, just a little bit in the lower corner. And I mean, it wasn't enough to make a puddle on the side where we have the bed, but we had a little bit of a puddle on the other. And you're looking behind me, you can see our kitchen tent, what we have going on here. Everything was good there. You know, it's got a screen on it. And yeah, what I did end up doing last night was I put the whole canopy on, and because it was going to rain, I actually put the guy wires on here. So I got the guy wire out, and what that did, it holds the canopy out enough to where we could leave the window a third open, or almost a half open, that you can see there. And then here in the front, what I really like is with that awning that comes over the doorway, we could leave the screen totally open on the door, on the tent. And with the other ones, like this window right here, we had it, you know, halfway open, and no water came in there. So with this awning, there's actually a hole up here that this pole goes through. but because I take it off and on all the time when I'm using just the half top and we fold it over, I don't even use the hole. I just have it set in here so you can actually bring it out more if you want to or whatever. And it just holds the water off the front, because from right here at the front, you're coming down about 8 inches off the very front of the floor of the tent. So the tent's back here, and 8 inches out is where the water is going to come down. So we could actually even have the door open and not have rain. So I can stand right here under the awning, and I'm basically out of the water, the rain coming down. I'll have a little bit come down on my shoulder probably. Then for the first time, I actually fastened this cord out, and that keeps the water completely off the window, but we opened it about halfway, and it was nice. Because you got to have the ventilation in there regardless, otherwise it gets too hot. And with the tarp underneath the tent, basically all I'm doing is keeping the bottom of the tent clean for when I go to pick it up here in another month or so. We've been out here for over 2 months now. It was May 28th when we set the tent up, and today is August 5th. So we've been living out here full time. I really like the zippers on the doors. The zippers just seem to last and last and last, and we haven't had an issue. Finally, we went down to Sportsman's Warehouse, and Karen bought some zipper wax or something to put on there. What was this stuff that you bought? The zipper stuff? Just... oh, okay. Okay, cool, that works. So in order to read it, so Zip Care Cleaner Lubricant by Gear Aid.
I got it at Cabela's.
Yeah, oh, was it Cabela's? Okay. So we bought it at Cabela's, not at Sportsman's Warehouse. But they're going to have the same stuff at, probably Bass Pro Shops or all the other ones too. And we put that on the zipper, and it's just got this brush on. So you just brush it off the zipper, and the zipper, even though we haven't had an issue with it, it was getting maybe a little bit tighter than what it was when it was totally brand new. It was working great, and it still works great. And it brought it back up to where it's just like brand new, and it runs really smooth now. So the zippers run really good, all the way. That's the one thing about this, is the zippers really work well. Yeah, the zippers work really well on this tent, and that's one of the main selling features of one of the things we really like about it. It has good quality zippers. And that's it. I mean, I really, that's one thing I can look at. I was trying to say with the instant tent what I could do to make it better, and I had that whole list of put pockets here and there and here and there, and then change the door and so on and so forth. But with this one here, I've got 6 pockets, I've got the doors. I can't think of anything other than turning this into an instant tent that would make it better. And I don't see a reason why they couldn't turn this into an instant tent, actually. But even though it's not an instant tent, it's a 15-minute setup. It's such an easy setup. It's no big deal. Our nice clear day. Well, it started coming down again. I just wanted to film it while it was raining for a second. It's been raining for another 10 or 15 minutes. I figured I'd put it on camera so you can hear it. I just had lunch. Yeah, it's totally comfortable with all the windows open. That one I got kind of closed off a little bit. We just leave it about a third open just for fun, because all the rain just drops off it, and you can see I could open it up more. Because if I had it halfway open, I still wouldn't get water in here. And I got sleeping bags and stuff over here. Then our back door. And then up here in front. I haven't put a tarp over it. I got a tarp to put over it if we need it, if we get that much water. But after last night being it rained all night and we got, you know, a little puddle about maybe the size of a, you know, probably about that big around and maybe 1/8 of an inch deep in that one corner where it's, you know, it's actually soaking up through the bottom. We don't have a problem there. We just threw a towel down there, calling it good. And it's it was said, it was stated in the reviews that I read before I bought this that it had the thickest and most durable floor that anybody had seen. And that's one of the reasons I bought it too, because it had a real thick floor. And I agree. It's a nice, good quality floor that you're not going to just step on and, you know, pop right away. Even though we still use the packing blankets down here on the floor anyway for carpeting. And that also helps keep it from getting, you know, from your feet or shoes pushing through and bringing rocks up to the bottom. That's the major problem with most tents, is when you're walking on it, you're stepping on a rock below it, and with your shoes on, it's forcing the rock up through the bottom. So what you're walking on the inside. So they're saying the best thing you can do is put a tarp down on the inside to keep the holes from forming in the bottom of the tent. But instead of using the tarp, we use the packing blankets. And it makes it nice and soft. I mean, I thought about putting carpet in here because we have it set up for the summer. But, you know, it's a tent. I don't need to go any farther than that. So this is the review for the Browning Big Horde tent, our home in the woods during the summertime at our base camp for, you know, our mining camp. And we use this tent probably more than most people are going to use theirs.